All right, I'd like to call a meeting to order. At this time, it's 6:05 p.m., January 12th, 2021. First guest tonight is John Phelan regarding the water tax.
Hi, good evening. Just looking at my tax bill, and I called Town Hall. They informed me that I had a water tax of $605.70. My biggest concern with it is that I don't have access to water, town water. So I'm kind of trying to figure out why I'm being taxed on it. When I was told after talking to multiple sources that I had to come meet with you guys. So here I am.
So you're right, John. There's actually going to be a development that's coming in across the street from you in the next year or so that we're actually going to be bringing the water line up to the new development, which is going to be passing your house. And we're actually going to be putting stubs in for future if you decide to use the town water. And there are a few spots in town that are not taxed now. We're actually going to be contacting some people and our lawyer to actually try to get everybody in the district. So that's our plan of attack right now.
And I understand that, but I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I've heard about this development for the last, I've been in that lot for 20 years. I've probably heard about it for the last 10 years. You know, I mean, I know both brothers that probably went and presented to you, the Barabys, great guys.
Yep.
But I've heard about this lot for 10 years. There's no access to water. Never had access to water. I mean, I have my own well, obviously, because that's what I've had to have.
Correct.
So does anyone know if he's actually in the district? Hold on, let me turn off my work emails, get notifications. Is Mr. Phelan in the district map, or the way the old commissioners laid it out, I guess? Is that why he's getting taxed now?
Correct. Yeah, he is in our water district as far as the maps are concerned.
Okay. So that's the reason why you're getting taxed now. But that's from the previous commissioners and the way they developed the map and what they decided, or who they decided to put in the boundaries of the water, the Dighton Water District. I understand your concern, and I would be frankly upset too if I'm paying taxes on a service that I'm not getting. But that is something that we would have to clear up, that was put into place from previous commissioners.
Well, my understanding, Commissioner Quinn, and maybe I'm wrong, but my understanding from talking with various people at Town Hall is that with me being on this meeting tonight, that you gentlemen could opt me out of the water district currently.
That I don't know. We would have to do some follow-up on that for you. But we can obviously look into that, and we will. But we would have to get all of our ducks in a row first and see what the legal ramifications are of that.
Okay. I mean, I guess my concern is, like I said to you, and I mean, not that I'm trying to beat a dead horse here, but I mean, I completely get what you're saying, sir, about the development across the street, the 5 or 6 houses that'll be in there. But again, I've been hearing about that for almost 10 years, and there's no access to water at all. So how long would it take you to get those ducks in a row to look at whether I can opt out of the district?
I don't know, unless anyone else knows. I'd have to get back to you on that.
Sure.
I don't want
That'd be
to
good.
give you an answer that's not true. So
Yeah, I appreciate
have to talk with the other commissioners and Jeff, the superintendent, and see what we can come up with and let you know.
Mr. Phelan,
Yes, sir.
I think you may have been, I don't know, you say you've been there for 20 years, right?
Yes.
Have you always been in the district?
Well,
Have you always been
no.
paying the tax?
Well, we haven't been in the district forever. We got the tax. I want to go back maybe a few years ago. We did get the tax, and at the time I called Town Hall again when I first got it, and it was a lot lower then, to be honest with you, but I did call Town Hall, and to be rather blunt with you, I kind of got the runaround. Town Hall told me to call the fire department because it was due to a fire hydrant. And I called the fire department, who basically said to me, "We don't tax anybody, call the water department." And I called the water department, and I was told, "Well, that's not us. We have nothing to do with hydrants. Call the fire department." And it just became such a runaround that I think it kind of got dropped. And I'll take that piece on it, because there's only so long you can have that discussion when you're working and you got a family and you got everything else.
Right.
Right, because there was some discrepancy within 2,000 feet of a hydrant. You're right. There was kind of a runaround even between hydrants and stuff in houses.
Yeah,
So
they made some
I've heard that
rules
before.
between 500 feet, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet. And I'm just wondering if we'd have to look back at when they adopted this to see if it's still in place, because that may have been when you were put in. I don't know when that was done. Well, again, we're gonna have to look back. It might go back 15 years, who knows? But something tells me a previous board adopted something that inevitably put you into the, put you into our district. And obviously no one here did it, and it's hard for us to find it because, we'll find something. We'll look for it.
All right.
But
Yeah, we'll definitely
my guess is that's what happened. My guess is that's what happened. You were thrust into the district due to a hydrant being so and so far away.
Well, and look, again, I've been there 20 years. I moved in September 18th, 2000. I'll tell you, that hydrant that's now at the corner of Cortland and Old Williams, it moved up the street about maybe 40 yards. I mean, I highly doubt, I'll give you the same argument I gave him before. I highly doubt my house is burning down any less now than it would have 10 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years, I'll go 15 with you. And I don't even think it was 15, but 10 years ago when that hydrant was moved. So I appreciate the fact you guys will look into it. If somebody can get back to me, I'd greatly appreciate that.
Yep, we will.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good night.
Do you have any contact information for you that we can either Derek, myself, or one of us to reach out to?
His number and his address.
With that,
And you have my email as well, right?
Yeah.
Because I think you sent me the invite through email, Tina.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, in the future, just a heads up that if you have any questions with the water department, reach out to us, because we're a separate entity from Town Hall. Actually, not kind of, we are a separate entity from Town Hall. So
they made that clear to me, by the way, just so you know. When I called them to find out how the assessment happened, they were pretty clear about that with me. This time there was no runaround about call this one, call that one. It was call you guys.
Sounds good. We'll take care of it. We'll look into it for you and give you an answer for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Thank you.
All set, Tina?
Sorry.
Yeah, we're all good. We can continue? Okay. The approved minutes of the prior meetings. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? What's
Wait a minute,
that?
we need Chuck.
Oh, okay.
Where'd Chuck go?
Thanks.
Jeff, you got by the way.
What's that?
Chuck and Jeff have a nice background.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, we talked about that before you got on. Yeah, no, I just wanted to come on to give you a little bit of an update. I think that Jeff probably forwarded along a quick agenda that I put together. I don't know if you guys got that, but basically I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Cedar Street Well number 1A replacement project. And we just got the signed contract probably about a month ago. And so we've initiated the project, started it up, and I've had a couple of meetings with Jeff. And we did start on looking at task 4, which was the evaluation of the raw water hydraulics. We're trying to schedule Frank Sullivan to come in and drill the well, and he's pretty busy right now. So he's got a backlog of about another month, so he'll be starting next month. And then he'll drill the production well and develop it, and then we can do the pump test after that. So it's just in the inception stages of the project. We had indicated it would probably be about a year to get it drilled and designed and permitted properly through DEP. So we're probably looking at operation sometime next year around this time. So we're moving forward with that. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have on that project. Really not too much to report right now because we just started.
So we're looking at a year until we're done with the whole shooting match. Yeah.
Normally through a replacement well project. The good thing is that they approved the pump test report. That's the other thing that delayed it a little bit as well. And I don't know if Jeff had mentioned this. They had a little bit of a turnover at DEP, and We've been noticing, because we have several pump test reports that were in there, that they were late by a couple of months, because we had submitted the pump test report back in September or so, and we figured we'd hear by November. We didn't hear until, actually, it was the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
The week after Christmas, the DEP finally sent it along, and that's because Jim McLaughlin, who has assumed the position as the kind of the, I don't know exactly what the position is, but the head of drinking water, and he has the sign off on all approvals now. So, and he expedited that and some of our other ones.
Yep.
So
He's starting to move things along.
yeah, he's great. I don't know. I know that Jeff has worked with him. I don't know if anybody has worked with Jim McLaughlin at DEP, but he's always been really great and very cooperative, and tends to push things along. So we were excited to hear that he moved up into that position. When I talked to him, he wasn't so sure about it, but it's better for everybody involved. I think that he's in the position that he's in right now. So, and we've seen it just, I mean, he just started, I think, the first or the second week in December, and since then, 2 of my projects got approved, including yours. So, so we really couldn't move forward until the beginning of this month. And when we contacted Frank, he said it's probably a month before he can break free to get over there. He's been pretty busy. But,
now is that drilling weather dependent, or is it pretty much just because it's drilling? Like we're not worried about the ground freezing or, snow, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's a good question, Jason. No, it shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, any really inclement weather, he probably wouldn't be working, but he can work through the winter and drill the well. So we're going to have to, but you bring up a good point that I'm going to work through Anne Marie, who I think you met on a Zoom meeting once this past summer. She headed up the groundwater exploration program. She's our hydrogeologist, and she works closely with Frank and with the EP, and we're going to have to probably get a notice of intent with the Conservation Commission. We will, because we're going to be within the buffer zone anyway. So that the approval for the drilling of the well isn't going to be too it's just a notice of intent. They'll have conditions for it. It's not a major process, but then we'll have to do that again for the design as well, because we'll be excavating with the yard piping to go out to through the building, and for the design of the package that goes out to bid, which is basically the pumping equipment, electrical, instrumentation to connect the production well that Frank drills. So that's how that process will unfold. And to answer your question, Jason, it's normally about a year to get a replacement well properly permitted and all the design done and installed.
Okay.
So the second thing I wanted to talk to you about, I communicated with Jeff in December about the EPA has come out with these regulations where every water system has to do a risk resilience assessment and update their emergency response plan. And so Jeff said that he wanted me to pull together a task order to do that work, and it's something that's required. The risk resilience assessment, basically, if I could step back a little bit, you may recall after 9/11 that water systems had to go through a vulnerability assessment, and every water system post 9/11 in like 2002, 2003 had to do these vulnerability assessments and submit them to EPA. And at that particular point in time, SCADA and instrumentation and the IT portions of water systems weren't evolved to the point they are right now. So it was mainly just security, physical security, locks and gates and fencing, and basically they wanted to look at preventing potential terrorists to come in and disrupt water service and throughout the state. So every water system had to do it. Now with the and we've heard it in the news, there's been, I know that Jeff's getting a lot of reports from Mass DEP, and there was a large wastewater district. They didn't obviously name it, but someplace in the country that was compromised by cyber invasion. And it, you know, I know that the city of New Bedford recently had an attack where they had a ransomware on their city hall. So basically the EPA has come out in 2018, they came out with this risk resilience assessment and updating in the ERPs. The ERPs were a follow-up of the vulnerability assessments where you had to look at different scenarios where your system might have been compromised, but more in a physical sense where somebody would come on and actually physically try to damage your facilities or stop treatment. But this risk resilience assessment will also look at both the physical, but also the cybersecurity. And what we're finding is that we've done several of these, and the systems are we're communicating with their IT people, and they're saying, you know what, you're absolutely right. You don't have enough protection here against cybersecurity or cyber risks. So they're updating their firewalls, they're updating their computer systems, that type of thing. So this is something that the district's going to have to do with the risk resilience assessment, is to certify that you completed the report by the end of this fiscal year, which is June 30th. And then 6 months after you complete your risk resilience assessment, you have to update your emergency response plan, which I visited with Jeff last week and picked up the emergency response plan, which is a rather sizable document that we'll need to update with all the contact information and everything else that is recommended in the risk resilience assessment. And again, this is not to chastise systems for not having adequate protection, but just to, you know, make you aware of where you might be vulnerable to cyber attacks or even physical attacks. I mean, you know, we've been to most of your facilities, and most of them are secure. Some of them we probably would recommend a little bit more fencing and security, but you know, we'll also look at your SCADA system, telemetry, phones, accounting systems. You know, we'll talk to Tina about what she's using for accounting software and billing software, that type of thing, just to document it, and then provide you with questions that you can communicate with your IT professionals and make sure that you have the right protection in your system. And the EPA requires that this all get documented in a report that will rest with you. It'll stay with you. They don't want any liability of that information being available to the public. So what you have to do is certify that you've done both documents.
Yeah, Dighton got hit with a ransom about 5 years ago or so.
Did they?
The police station, right?
Police station, yep.
Yeah, and I think that what we're finding, and you probably have experienced it with emails, that we get a lot of Fisher emails at EP, and I've received countless emails from the CEO of the company telling me that you have to click on this because they need you to act on this right away, and it's not him.
Wow.
You know?
The only good thing with us, right, we don't have SCADA. All of our SCADA computers have no internet access, correct, Jeff?
Right.
So at least we keep it separate as far as them getting into our SCADA.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So there's no internet access to your SCADA? I mean, you have it.
Well, it's on its own line. It's not connected to the web.
That's what it
So
is.
it's kind of hardwired into its own system.
But it's still tied into the internet somehow, right? I mean, or no? Doesn't, I mean, it's still, even if it's wired in to some sort of internet access or web access, you still have risk.
I'm not sure, Jason, because Jeff, is it true all the pump stations talk via satellite? I mean, through the antennas, correct?
Yeah, the data that comes comes through the antennas.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. I don't think this is even on the internet.
so. But anyway, in regards, I mean, we got to do it. We got to do it. So that's.
Yeah, I think that
Like
even
how
if it's
financials are, and there are other things. I guess, to be honest though, I mean, anyone can hack into anything these days. So,
yeah, if you have
like Jason said, it might
communication
have some kind of connection or line somewhere that someone can just tap into. Like, who knows?
And
That's-
they can, through the radio communication on the SCADA, if you're communicating by radio, they can also compromise your system through that.
I would assume.
And even through your email. I mean, the other thing that we're looking at is employees, how they're using their emails, and whether they're using safe passwords, that type of thing. And it might just be an education that we provide, questions that you can ask the operators and the employees, just to make sure that they're not compromising their work emails by being on the system and not going to the right sites or whatnot, or getting an email and clicking on a link that they shouldn't be.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. We're doing these for several systems, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a long list of questions together with Jeff, and I'll send it to him, and Tina and Kim will probably be involved, and I'll copy you guys as well, just so you can see the extensive list of, it's about a, 3 or 4 page document that will have questions to ask. But the first RRA has to be done by June 30th. And then, like I said, 6 months after, we'll do the ERP update.
We don't have money in the budget for this, right? This is a new task order, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I was talking to Jeff about it, and that it's a pretty standard, even our competitors are charging about the same. We're actually a little bit lower than what we've been charging others, because we just did your water system master plan, so we're very familiar with the system. So but really, these things are running probably around 20 to 25,000 for the risk resilience assessment, and another 15 to 20 to update the ERP. And your ERP is a little bit older, and it's a lot bigger than most volumes. And I'll have to look through it. I haven't looked through it in detail, but so your question's a good one, Tina, about the budget. I was suggesting to Jeff, and what we've done with others, we did it with Seekonk Water District. The board was concerned about spending the money over, because unfortunately it's something that you haven't budgeted, like many others. And they didn't budget for it, so we split the risk resilience assessment fee out, and we'll only charge them that through the end of this fiscal year, and then the ERP won't be invoiced until your next fiscal year, if you want to do it that way. I mean, we're going to bill it that way anyway, but if you need to only go to district meeting to appropriate a portion of the funds, if you want to do that, or the whole thing, however you want to do it, but I can break that number up for you if you want.
Right, yeah, that's what I was saying, that we'll need to bring it to a meeting.
Okay.
To fund it.
And I mean, even if it's next month at your next monthly meeting, that's fine, because I think that even if, the first week in February, if it's approved, then, it's about a 3-month process to get the RRA done. So we should be in good
Thanks,
shape.
Chuck. That was my next question, was if we had enough time and when we needed to make that decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably 3 months to do both of them. So Eric, I think that if we get started at the beginning of February, we should be in good shape to finish it by end of May, early June.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. If you have any other questions at all, or you want to review the scope again, I can talk to you next meeting as well.
One quick thing for you, Chuck.
Yep.
I know a while back we had spoken about the hydraulic model,
Mhm.
and about looking into the software to run it. Did we ever get anywhere as far as looking into, or if you can kind of, when you got a chance, look at that again?
Sure, I can give you the software vendor and the cost to purchase that, the software for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I can get that for you by next meeting, Derek.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no problem. All right. If there's nothing else, it's great seeing you all, and I'll see you next month
Stay
probably.
safe. Okay,
Yeah.
stay cool. Safe.
All right, you too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Chuck.
Bye.
Are we all set, Tina?
Yes.
All right, approve the minutes of the prior meetings. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the December 9th monthly meeting?
So moved.
A second.
Any discussions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The reading of the correspondence. Does anyone have any correspondence?
I don't have anything.
I do not.
No,
Nope.
The financial conditions. The operating budget to actual balances, the income for the first 6 months of the fiscal year is $1,105,536.49, with expenses at $1,389,779.83, which is 52.6 of our budgeted expenses. The receivables as of December 31st, outstanding receivables are $67,666.12. Month's commitments were $18,236.63. And water receivables for the month were $20,155.72. Is there a motion to accept the financial reports as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Hold on a second. I just want to make sure that we're good to go. I'm sitting here looking at, what we're 6 months in, so we're 50%. We're obviously only 2% over where we need to be. But Tina, you see any shortcomings or anything like that for the rest of the year? Or are we still looking pretty good?
I think we're looking pretty good, although if we gotta take this new task order out of this budget, I'm not sure where we'll take it, but other than that, we're doing good.
How are we making out with the receivables and getting water bills paid and all that stuff too?
We did pretty good with our last late bills, and the new ones are just going out today.
about 20? Is it about 20?
I'm sorry,
How many lakes did we have? I forget.
how many late?
Yeah,
They, I don't recall,
I want to say Kim said like 20 or something like that.
maybe about 20 left, yes.
Okay.
Not too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine.
All right, is there a motion to accept the financial reports as presented?
So moved.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Do we need a second, Eric, though?
Sorry, my internet must have dropped out. I second.
Yeah, the ayes have it. Is there a motion to approve $3,000 to transfer from the Finance Committee Reserve Fund to the new equipment line? This line is over because of the purchase of 2 new lawnmowers.
Did we get those lawnmowers? I thought that was last summer we got those. Are these new? Something
It's
new?
in the fall.
In the fall, we got them.
Those are the ones we got. We had Greg and Missy go pick up.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool.
Did you replace other ones you had?
We had one blow up, one motor let go on one of them last fall, so we got 2 decent used ones. One to replace the one, and then the other one just as a backup. Well, Jeff, you're going to use that more at the treatment plant, right?
Yeah, we use it.
Yeah.
Actually, we use them all.
Okay.
They all get used.
Good.
They had an older, like, homeowner John Deere at the treatment plant that they were using, so now they use more of the
Commercial
Zero.
type? Yeah.
It took us like 3 weeks to finish the whole thing.
right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was insane.
All right. Jason, you're up. You're going to so move it.
So moved. Sorry.
All right, Eric. All right, Eric can second.
I think his internet's going in and out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a little slow.
You can step down and sec. Well,
Okay, I'll step down and second it. Any discussions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. You want to see if Eric is back yet before I continue, or just keep going?
Am I back?
Yep.
Oh, there you are.
Hey,
That's Dighton internet for you.
Yeah. Well, way out here in Cortland.
Is there a motion to approve the expenditure warrants as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. All right, we have the superintendent's report.
all right, so I talked to Woodard and Curran. I'm gonna be meeting a geologist the week of January 25th. I can't remember, it might be the 27th we're meeting. We're gonna go over the property at Brook Street for the test wells.
Can you, when you do that, can you give me a shout? Because if I'm home, since seeing as I'm right down the street, I'd like to just tag along and see what's going on. Yes,
I'll
question.
send you the an invite the day.
Okay.
A calendar invite.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm working nights too, Jeff, I'll go out there with you.
All right. Yeah, it's like morning-ish. I'll let you know. So T-Mobile is going to be doing some upgrades at the tank sites. So I had made some were not suggestion demands that the site is put back to the way it looks now. So it's all signed off. It won't be left in disarray like it was a few years ago when there was some wholesale changes up at Williams. So that's not going to happen. Tina and I, Tina mostly, but me too. We're looking into a website right now. Tina, you can talk about it too. It looks really nice. A lot of information, user friendly, good for the public. All the above. Much better than ours.
Yeah, I had a chance to read through it a little bit ago. It's obviously the same company that the town uses.
Yeah.
The initial cost didn't seem all that much. It's 7,700 or 75, whatever it was. I think it was 77 or
77.
Yeah.
77.
And there was a 2,500 or 2,200 a year maintenance fee, I guess.
Yes.
For what, 5 years?
22 a year, yes, for 5, and then they'll update it.
Right. I mean, I think it's I want to read through it a little bit more in detail and get into the weeds a little bit more. And I'm going to talk to some folks at Town Hall to see if they've had a good experience with them. I'm assuming they have, because we haven't heard anything, or actually the website looks pretty good too. But I mean, I think we need to update it and be more in the I'll say the 21st century, I guess, with the website. But we also have to improve the way we communicate, ongoings at the water district and the offices and water main breaks and all that good stuff. So I definitely think we need to upgrade it and bring it into, 2021 for crying out loud. I think it's worth the money.
I spoke
Yeah,
with
it has a
Leanne
it
at
had
Town.
a feature. Oh, sorry, Tina, go ahead.
That's okay. I spoke with Leanne at Town Hall. That's how I got all the information, and she's very satisfied with the company. They're very cooperative. Anytime you have problems, you can call them. Like you said, very user friendly.
It had a feature on it where the user, the customers can sign up with their email, and any alert we give, they'll be emailed. Kind of like a 911,
Yeah.
but
No,
but an email format.
yeah.
Maybe that'll stop some of the Facebook chatter.
Yeah, I agree.
That was an additional fee on top of that. That was an additional 500 a month, a year.
No, that's worth it. That's definitely worth it. Excuse me.
All right, so the other day I was noticing Cedar 3, the motor looked like it was running a little higher than normal for the pumping it was pumping. So I put it up to a mid-level range and it went to 100% where it should not have, but the vacuum stayed low. So I've been in contact with Sullivan, and he's going to come in and pull the pump, and we're going to have to replace that pump. Not the motor. The motor's fine. It's the pump. So just giving you guys a heads up. That's going to happen. He's going to try to get here early February, or I asked if he can do it right after we do the rehab, due to the fact that it's going to change our chemistry massively if we don't have that well while we're doing the rehab with only 2 filters. So he's either going to come in before, if he can, he's going to try, or right after. And we're going to rehab that pump. Actually replace it.
When was the last time you had to replace or repair that pump at Cedar 3?
Honestly, don't know. I look back at the records. We've redeveloped it. I haven't seen anything on replacement on it. We redeveloped that area in 2018. That was the last time it was redeveloped. And
so if you redeveloped, does that include, changing out the pumps and all that good stuff, or does it not?
They took the pump out, and then it's not really a well there. It kind of sucks it from the other wells, so they just kind of clean the pump.
Okay.
Another well where it's an actual well there, it's a little different how they do it, because it's a vacuum system. It's a total different process there. But he did mention that he remembers the pump on that, and that he mentioned saying he thinks that one was, next, one of them ready to go. Then so that was, at least he knows our system very well. So I'm glad. Obviously Sullivan's a huge asset to us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we found it. We found the problem. That it's just not, something's not right there. So it'll be fixed very soon.
Okay.
The filter rehab, like I said, it's either gonna be the first week of February or the second. They're already started production on the parts. Obviously everyone knows about the rate grant. We finished up the paperwork, Tina mostly, and I. The MVP grant, I have a meeting tomorrow or Thursday, I can't remember, with the group, and we're going to be discussing the MVP grant. That's going through. That's good to go. We'll have GIS. Hopefully we can start working on that this winter, building a GIS system for us. And one of the other projects we've been picking away at is our larger meters, our bigger meters in town. We had some monsters in town that didn't really require it. So we've been, Greg and Missy and all of us have been picking away at that. The high school was done last week, and the middle school, apologize. High school, middle school are now been downsized, and a newer meter's been installed. There is maybe Aquarius going to be done soon. I'm waiting to hear from the plumber. They're hiring a plumber to do it. I'm waiting just to hear for that. That one's all set, and then there will be one more, and all the bigger meters except for Dighton Power, which is a 6-inch meter, and they get it tested. They get it tested every year. They're pretty much the only one who complies with it, and it's testing very well. It's within the range, so that meter's good. And they can't really downsize that meter, so they'd be the only one who hasn't been either downsized or changed as far as our larger meters. So that's moving along.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
Did I miss anything on I may have missed it. The Main Street water main replacement, any progress on that? What do we get?
I have no update on that. I haven't heard a thing. I'll talk to him. I'm going to talk to Woodard and Carney tomorrow, Thursday. I will mention that. Have not heard a thing of it. That might be one of those backlog DEP things. Nothing's come out on that project.
So that's just for us getting a low interest loan, correct?
Yes.
So do we, this is going to just keep coming up, obviously. Do we have a backup plan, or do we know what, or can we start looking at a backup plan if this doesn't go through? I mean, what's the next? I guess
The next step would be us getting our own loan, kind of like we're doing with Cedar One. We basically have to go out and secure our own interest rate.
We'd have
Or
to
our-
bring it to special meeting first and get it approved like we did
Right.
the replacement well. The approval to go out to get the loan,
And then,
borrow the money.
yeah, and we have, that's not just for the actual construction cost, that's also for the engineering and all that good
It
stuff.
would be for everything, yeah.
And do we know, I know we started, or we did some initial engineering work on that, correct? And then
The town did.
the town did
The town has done their own, and they have some.
on the main, on the water.
Yeah, no, they've done, the town did some, what was it, surveying. Honestly, nothing for us. To be honest, nothing for us. We have to do our own. It's not really gonna help us all that much.
What did
Their
we get?
engineer.
What did we get when we had a cost? Didn't we had something from somebody? I don't know, but
It was like three,
It was
it was,
3.5 million, wasn't it, Jeff?
yeah, it was like 3.5. And then I talked to somebody else also after, and they said that might be low. So it could be more than that.
that was from Chuck, was it not, or was it from somebody else?
It was a ballpark figure from Chuck.
Okay.
But if you take into account all the crossings, all the bridges and the stream flow crossings, it could definitely go higher.
So if we're talking about this now, because I don't want to, I want to try to keep it moving somehow, because it's not going away. I don't want to keep kicking the can down the road. And it's obviously a hot topic, not just from our perspective, and the residents' perspective, but from the town's perspective, where they want to do the roads and put sidewalks in and all that down Main Street, right? So who would be the engineering firm for that? Would that be Chuck as well, or would that be somebody else?
I'd probably go with Woodard and Curran.
Okay.
I would go with Woodard and Curran on that.
Right. So is there any way we can get a proposal from them for engineering services? Just to get that rolling? So
Yeah, we can do that.
so we can, if we do get word from the state or whatever it may be, that we already have the ball rolling. I don't want to get the word from the state and then we're still stuck in the mud, right? I want to get, so we're ahead of the ball game if we do get word, or if we have to explore option B, which is getting another loan somehow.
Okay. Let's write it down.
Because I think the worst thing is we get good news on a low interest loan, and then we're stuck in the mud for 2 or 3 months trying to get engineering services on board. So I would say let's just get a proposal from them now. That way we do have it.
You know what? I'm gonna call Jim tomorrow.
Okay.
And be like, what's going on? Oh, Jim McLaughlin.
Yeah, talk to Jim and then reach out to Woodard and Kern and get something from those
Yep.
guys. Tell them what we want to do. Because it's not, as we all know, it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
Or we can keep repairing. We can keep making repairs.
I mean, this year, William Street's the hot one. So kind of just shifts.
I mean,
That's all I got.
I think we're all sort of in agreement, though, that Maine is probably
Yeah.
scenario number one, and then Williams after that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll go to, we'll have to do that court though off of Tremont, right, Jeff? Great Terrace.
Oh, yeah. Great Terrace is
It's horrible
definitely
too.
another hot spot. Yeah, absolutely.
Jeff, when you have a chance, I was driving around town the other on Saturday, working.
Yep.
Can you take a ride out to Wheeler Street? One of the bridge crossings over Wheeler Street, we have a water pipe that goes above ground. On if you were driving west on Wheeler, it's on the right hand side. It says public water supply. It's in yellow. I don't know if you've noticed it or not. I never knew it was there. But on the left
Oh,
hand
yeah,
side,
yeah.
a couple of the steel pilings are actually filled with concrete and they're broken.
Okay.
I don't know if hit them. Can you or send Greg and Missy out there to figure
Yep.
out how we can replace those two broken, maybe if we have Charlie on our dig, if we can buy them, and I don't know if they're just lolly columns that they plant in the ground, or
All right.
we should have
I can
that
do that.
kind of looked at and repaired. I don't know if you
I know
got if
exactly what
Jason or Erica's driving around, just in case a car hits it, man, we're screwed.
Okay. Check it out. That's all
All
I
right.
got.
All right. So old business. How's the Bristol Aggie High School? I'm sure that's still just working on that. I'm sure.
Yeah, mostly. There's nothing really water related right now. Not till this spring.
Yeah, did they ever pay us back for that
Yes.
water that they?
We got it this week.
Oh, you did? Good.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. New business. The T-Mobile antenna renewal. I'm good with you guys working on that.
Yeah, I didn't even have a chance to look at that one.
No problem.
That's one of the things I did not read, but I can look at it real quick and let you know. I mean, we have to come in and sign documents tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So I'll read it tonight or tomorrow before I come in and sign, and then I'll let you know what I think on it. But I'm guessing it's okay. It's pretty close to the same as what it was before, right?
Right. We got till July. July is when it expires.
Are they giving us more money?
They want to give us less money.
Actually, less. Yeah.
Nope. Why less? Is there a reason behind it? Are they just trying to?
They merged with another company, and that was basically their logic, I believe.
Yeah, well, they need that. They need
Get
that.
the money. To buy the company.
What's that?
All right. The announcements. The next regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners will be Tuesday, February 9th. You want to do 6 o'clock again? I don't know what Eric's schedule is like too, or Jason,
You said the 9th?
look at your calendar.
Let me look now. I keep forgetting on Tuesday nights I have softball practice. So can we not do Tuesday nights anymore?
What day works for everybody? Whatever day works for everybody. It's fine.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Thursday.
So it'd be what, February 11th?
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday's fine for me. Or I could even do Monday nights too. On that, I can do the 8th,
Anything works.
8th, 10th, or the 11th.
What works for everybody?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I can
fine.
do the 8th, Monday.
You want the 8th?
Yeah, let's do the 8th.
What time?
4 o'clock? 6? Oh no, you can't. You don't like doing it early, Jason. So 6 is fine. Eric, is that all right with you?
I
6
can't
is
do
good,
4.
yep.
Yeah, I can't do 4. I have a standing meeting at 4 o'clock on Mondays. But I can do any time after 5 o'clock. So 6 o'clock's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, 6 is good.
All right. Is there any public input? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right. So I'm gonna make a motion to go in executive session. Tina, right? We won't be.
Yes. Won't be